This is the rose garden at Cheesman behind me. And I was just walking around listening to music, and I was praying, and I thought about Jesus praying in the garden. And I thought about how he asked just some of his friends, one of whom who was even going to betray him, right, to pray for him. And this morning I was listening to a talk, and I thought that the speaker had such great insight, because she, through the Holy Spirit, right, conveyed this telling of what Jesus asked the disciples. And it was this moment of, and I'll paraphrase her, of, I need you guys. You know, that we are based on God's design, and that God's design tells us that we need each other, that our loneliness is a signal that we need to reach out, that we need community, that we need each other. And I'll be transparent. The biggest attack that the other side, the devil, brings to me is, you're alone. You'll always be alone. Just isolate yourself, right? And that's a signal to be community, to reach out. And that's what Jesus was doing in that moment, because he was overwhelmed. The task at hand was too big. There was too much going on. And in the moment where he was like lost and he needed help, he reached out to his friends. And the moment that she said that, right, the moment I heard that insight this morning, I thought, because in heaven, Jesus had angels that if he asked them to pray and they knew he was overwhelmed, there was nothing like Jesus being overwhelmed. Because if Jesus is overwhelmed, we're all overwhelmed. And they would be on the ground begging the Lord, comfort him, bring him peace, because his pain is our pain. And he bears it for us. And when Jesus looked up, the disciples were sleeping. And his answer back to them of why couldn't you stay awake, right, was confirmation to him that we need him. That even though the task was too much, that it was overwhelming, that we needed him to do it. Because we needed to be reconnected to heaven. Because we needed to be reconnected to God. Because those angels are our brothers and sisters, and we need to be back with them, and they need to be with us. We need to be without gender, without division, right? Without war, without conflict. And the only way back to that, to grace and salvation and peace, was for him to complete the task. And so he knew that because he needed us, we needed him. And that there was no other path. And then what would follow would bring us closer to God. In fact, it would bring God within us, as it would bring us the Holy Spirit, our comforter, our counselor, our strengther, our encourager, our friend, through all. And that is our path back. And that all happened in a garden, right? When the task was overwhelming, when the week that loomed before was just too much. But Jesus reached out to each other, and that's what we can do, and we can reach out to him. And that's why our loneliness is a signal from God to build community, to find each other. We are one body. Happy Sunday, chatting at Cheesman in the garden.